Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Today we are making jam drops. They're really easy and they are really yummy. Anything with jam in it in a biscuit is always good. Here's what we need. Gather up all of this, oven onto 180, and you want 2 greased and lined baking trays. I'm going with the round ones, so if I need extra, I'll just make up another tray as I go. Get your mixer ready. You'll need to sift your flour, and I've got everything ready, so let's get into it. Okay, so first up we've got 125 grams of butter. I didn't worry about starting to soften it because it's still a bit humid. So I'm just going to use this as is. Normally I'd chop it up, but once again, as I said, it's a bit humid, so it'll probably chop itself up. Probably. It's breaking up with a teaspoon, so if it's breaking up with a teaspoon, it'll fight itself, but it'll be happy in the end. Alright, as well as that, in with that, you've got your 1/3 of a cup of caster sugar. So that goes in too. Now I've got half the butter stuck in the spoon. Alright, so set that on to start mixing. Okay, when it's looking like this, add that 1 egg in. And grab your sifter, and you want your self-raising flour, which was 3/4 of a cup, and your 1/2 cup of plain flour in there. And just sift that through. Perfect. Okay, when it's starting to look something like this, tip 1/2 of that flour mixture in. Stir that in. Try not to wear all the flour because I've just wasted 1/2 of my flour now. Literally. And then pop the rest in. Okay. Now for this next part, you want to lightly flour your hands and use your hands to just make it into one big mass of dough. Yep, you need the flour on your hands. See that? That way, when you've got the flour on your hands, it doesn't actually stick to your hands. Alright. Now we're rolling. Alright. Beautiful. So once it's all come together perfectly, grab those trays over. Now, it's supposed to make 30, but I don't know since I've just dropped some of it on the floor and down my apron. Not impressed. You want to make sure that you get all your flour incorporated in as well. So you want to be looking at a proper dough colour, not floury bits in it. Best way to work out how you're going to get to 30, this is how I do it. And I guess because you're watching me, that means that you're possibly going to do the same thing. Divide it into 2. That way you know you're going to get 15 per lot. Divide it again. That's going to be 7.5 each one. Don't know if I'm going to get 7.5 out of each one, but see how we go. Alright, let's grab those trays. I'm going to make them a bit bigger than it said anyway, I think. So if I get 4, 8, no, it's only going to make 16. Alright, let's do it again. Okay, that looks good. Alright, leave it about that. So you actually do want to gently flatten it like I'm doing there with your fingertips. Some are going to be bigger than others. Let's just hope that you don't get the small cookie. It's good to try and have them the same size anyway, because that way when they're cooking at least you know they're all going to cook at the same time. And I'm going to need more trays too, doing it this way. With these round ones. I think I was supposed to make more out of those. I normally like to make bigger biscuits rather than smaller biscuits. I mean, as I say, it's personal preference. So we are going to have a few small ones in between. As you can tell, I'm not going to do another tray. And then, once we have all those ready to roll, we're going to dip the end of, I'd just use the end of a wooden spoon. Dip it in the flour and just push an indent into each biscuit. That's where the jam is going to sit. Doesn't really like being, they don't like being stabbed. We're going to have a few small ones, we're going to have a few big ones, but at the end of the day, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. We've got 24. That's close enough. All right. So grab a little spoon because we need to put the jam in them now. This is a fiddly job. If you can't get it into the indent, sit it on top. And what I'll do so they cook better, I'm just going to do one tray at a time. Okay, now these are going to cook for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to put them in for 10 and we'll see what they look like. With the second lot, I've just done an indent with my finger because it actually is probably going to sit better. Now, if you like me, you'll like a lot of jam. So, the sweet stuff. So if you can, you're better off doing one tray and then the next tray so that they don't, you can do 2, but then you've got to swap them halfway through, like swap shelves, so 10 minutes isn't long, so just do one and then do the other. Alright, they look better with the jam as an indent, so we'll check on these ones when they're ready in about 5 or so minutes. And these have come out pretty good. I gave them an extra 2 minutes. That was possibly because I have done them the larger size. So there you have it. There's half of our jam drops done. Thank you for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes that come up. Keep cooking and keep enjoying food. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.